Right, welcome back YouTube. We are back in the supermarket. Fingers crossed we do not get kicked out. We know that I don't have the best of luck when it comes to being in a supermarket and getting kicked out, so fingers crossed they are nice. This is the same supermarket I was in last time, so they were fine the last 2 times, so fingers crossed they are going to be fine today. We're going to do another little educational video today on, well, food obviously, all based around female health and the things that I personally used, my 5 top types of foods that I utilised as a competitor and even now as not a competitor to help to boost my hormones, specifically as a female. But we know that male and female hormone pathways, as much as they are very different in terms of their ranges, will obviously work well with certain foods the same. So even if you're a guy, you could probably take a few things from it just to make sure that you are keeping good foods that are going to support your hormone system. It'd be ideal if there was a bigger avocado. That's a very sad looking avocado, isn't it? So number 1, avocado. So these are rich in monounsaturated fats, so a healthier fat. That's obviously going to, well, not obviously, it is going to, just in case you didn't know. I need to stop saying obviously. Kick up the bum already. That's going to support estrogen and progesterone production. So if you are a female competitor and you've finished your shows, you've found that your periods has stopped and you've not bled for a while, likely your hormones have downregulated. Progesterone and estrogen are part of your hormone pathway, which is likely downregulated. Utilizing some healthy fats such as avocado is going to help to support that production to be a little bit more flourishing. So utilizing some avocado in your day would be great. I have it both on training day and rest day as a fat source. Yes, I will use nut butters, dark chocolates, oils, etc., but I would always make sure that I have some avocado in there because it is very good with what I've just mentioned. It also helps and gives you some bioavailable vitamin E, which is going to help with supporting your adrenals as well, and it actually helps to reduce your levels within your body of cortisol as well. So if you are someone who has quite high cortisol, utilizing this type of food will actually help to lower it a little. If your cortisol actually sits very high, so your stress sits quite high, you will find that your hormone production will not be as good as what it could possibly be. So again, as much as it helps to promote estrogen and progesterone, it also helps to support your cortisol lowering, which is going to help your entire hormone system just get better. So avocado is definitely going straight in my basket. Food number 2, this on my top 5 list, some kale. So this is a cruciferous vegetable. If I've just completely annihilated that word, I'm so sorry to the scientists. Gaz is going to pop below the typing and the writing of what that word is, and if I've said it wrong, please drop a message below. But the way in which I cook this, because that's actually an important thing, because most people don't like kale. There's also things like broccoli, Brussels sprouts that do come into that same bracket, which are great, but I don't like either of them. So I'd rather just stick to this. So the way in which I cook it, and my mum's actually probably going to watch it and she'll be really angry that I do buy it, because throughout the entirety of summer she actually grows it in her garden, so in her allotment, and she gives it me fresh, and it's so nice. It is a lot better than what you can get from the supermarket, but unfortunately the time of year that it is now in the UK, we don't have access to have it fresh. So how I cook it, I actually put it in the air fryer with a little bit of any types of herbs that I fancy. Obviously myself and Kuba, we like to keep on top of our sodium intake. Even now being a non-competitor, I still keep a track of my sodium. Helps to keep my electrolyte balance good, helps to keep my digestion good, helps to keep me feeling hydrated, recovered, good pumps in the gym, etc. So I'll never stop doing it, and I will not add extra salt to things if I don't need to. So what I do is I add some 0 sodium seasoning, I add it into the air fryer, I put it in, and it actually comes out like, if you've ever been to well, it's a westernized Chinese, you'll have the seaweed that's a little bit salty. It essentially just comes out like that. I mean, if you're not that bothered about having a little bit of extra sodium, I guess you could pop some salt on it, or maybe if you do just cook for yourself and you can just add some of your salt for the day, you could maybe add it on there for you. But some people do it in their wok, pop it on the pan and fry it, however works best for you. But I love it, and I actually really like the earthy taste that it brings to you as well. So the reason that I use it, it actually helps to, it's got DIM in it, which helps to detoxify the amount of estrogen that obviously you aren't or are creating, which helps to keep a good healthy balance. It obviously has a great amount of fibre. We know that if you are coming out of a competition prep, that you've likely not been on a lot of food, your gut might be a little bit slower. Even I have the same amount of vegetables all year round, but if I find that my gut is being a little slower, so my digestion, bowel movements, etc., does become a little bit slower, that is something that I'll keep in year round to make sure that things like that stay in a great space. So if you are someone who struggles with slow bowel movements, maybe try and look into what you're using in terms of fibre to keep essentially your bowels moving really well. And that's it, and that's going in my basket. It helps with your liver production as well, helps to detoxify the liver. So definitely something that you probably think to yourself, oh, it's just a vegetable, I don't like it, or I do like it. There's reasons why you'd use certain things to help keep on top of everything, and food's a big component of that. Everybody's happy to pop in a health supplement here, etc. And you know, there's not a lot of bioavailability from a lot of foods for certain things, but there's definitely a lot that you can get from food, and if you're not utilising that, you're silly. Third type of food that is going to go in my basket to help and support my hormones and my body. So blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, berries as a general rule of thumb. I'm sure that there's plenty more. Like, I actually quite like a blackberry, but I can't find any here. And I will be honest, we do use frozen ones at home, so I probably am going to walk all the way over to the other side of the store and get some frozen ones. They save better, they last longer, and in my opinion, especially here in the UK, not too sure around the rest of the world, I actually find them much more cost effective that way as well. But I do get often a little bit of playback from clients that I start coaching, whether that be new clients or older clients, around berries and using them, etc., because maybe they don't like them or they want to use a different fruit, etc. Like, for me personally as a coach, I would always put something on the plan, yes, from an enjoyment perspective as well, but also I'd probably put something on there for a reason. So as much as, yes, lots of it is going to be from an enjoyment, making sure it's something that you can have from a non-allergy perspective, there's also going to be a reason why potentially some things are getting added. So I add fruits and vegetables, especially berries, into my clients' plans because they are a really strong, powerful antioxidant. We know that if you've gone through a prep, that your body is going to be full of toxins sometimes. So utilising something that is going to be an antioxidant is going to be a benefit. We know that if they do spike, that it can create a lot of stress within the body. So anything that we can do to create a reduction or create oxidative stress to be reduced, it is going to create for your hormones not to quite be as optimally functioning as what they could possibly be. They also help to reduce cortisol too, which is another thing that we don't want a lot of. A stressed body is not going to be one that's going to be able to produce hormones again optimally. So if you do want a very hormone optimized body, you want to make sure that you are utilizing something like some berries. So they will be going in our basket. They also have a good source of fiber. Again, we've just mentioned that from a kale perspective, keeping on top of your bowel movements, making sure that your gut stays healthy. Something like this in terms of fruits are going to give that. You look at like a banana, and lots of people love them, but they're so high in potassium that we can't really be having like 500 grams worth of banana every single day. Otherwise, you'd likely end up, well, crapping yourself. So utilizing some berries that are going to give you all of that, as well as they actually also help with thyroid production as well. So they are a very useful little fruit and useful food of choice to add into your plan to be able to help with all those things. Reducing oxidative stress, being an antioxidant, making sure that cortisol can stay low. They are good with fibre, they help with thyroid production as well. So what a great product to have as part of your plan. And potentially you can't afford loads of them, but like I've just said, get yourself some frozen ones, get somewhere that sells them a little bit cheaper and keep them into your plan because they will work really well. And one thing that I will say as a extra tip, a blueberry does not give you the same calories as a raspberry. You're getting given 100 grams of raspberries and then you actually do 100 grams of blueberries, you will be adding more calories, and it's usually about 25 grams less-ish of blueberries to raspberries, and that's just a general rule of thumb. It's different, but they are going to give you more calories, so you can't do a direct swap. You would have to macro track if you were going to have blueberries instead of raspberries. I'm not saying that they're a bad thing to swap between, but if you do have blueberries on your plan, you'd need more raspberries if you were swapping. If you had raspberries on your plan, you'd need less blueberries because they are more calorie dense. Food number 4. We're going to talk about salmon. I am going to be honest, we don't usually use the fatty salmon. We actually use the sockeye, wild or keto salmon, but they don't actually have any on the shelf today, which is very sad because I'm essentially doing you a video based on something that's not actually going to go in my basket, but let's just imagine it says sockeye. The reason we actually use sockeye is because we watched Seaspiracy and we realised how bad farmed salmon is, from how they actually keep the animal to what they put in the water to help keep the actual fish fresh. So we don't actually use full fat salmon, or the farmed salmon should I say, sorry. We actually use the wild salmon, which actually is a little bit lower in bad fats, but it still gives you everything in terms of the positives from what you'd want from a fatty salmon. I'm hoping that makes sense from a fatty fish. So the first thing that it does, it obviously gives you a huge amount of omega-3, which is going to help to reduce inflammation. If you can reduce inflammation, it supports the cell membrane, which is going to, especially within your hormones, which is going to help to promote for you to have better functioning hormones. With that, it is going to help with the support with hormone balance as a female, especially in a diet or after a diet. It's really bad, I know, and I know that everybody likes to call bodybuilding, but essentially when you get to the end of a diet, at the end of a prep, you're doing an extreme sport, you need to get extreme levels of body fat. Some people could probably diet on higher fats, some people cannot. Some people can diet on higher calories, some people cannot. To be able to get to a point where you are low with body fat and ready for a competition, your calories are going to have to come from somewhere, so your fats might actually go quite low. That's just something to be honest and prepared about if you are a bodybuilder. Again, I'm not saying that it's a healthy thing, but I would never change my competitive journey for the world. And if you choose that people are obviously going to have an opinion that obviously at times it's not the most healthiest, but I guess we could say that for most things. But if you are post a competition and you can and do have some more fats, adding that in to help with your hormone balance will definitely help a lot, especially from a female perspective, to make sure that those types of things can be in a great space to help to promote things like your hormones getting into a space where estrogen, progesterone can all really work effectively and we really be efficient within your body so that you can actually have a monthly cycle. And then with that, it's also going to help with mood balance. When you are lower with body fat or you are lower with actual fats in your diet, you will find that most females especially will go quite moody. So, you know, if you're a guy and you've got a lady in the house and her fats are quite low, that's probably one of the reasons why, because her fats are quite low. That, and she's obviously been in a diet and very low body fat for a long time. We know that a fatty fish is a great support when it comes to hormone production. It actually helps with your metabolic rate and then also with that your thyroid functionality. I hate the word metabolic function. But essentially you want a fully functioning and fully flourishing thyroid, especially to be able to A, drop body fat, and also when it comes to then being able to not gain too much body fat if it's under-regulating. So this type of fish, a high in omega-3 fatty fish, will actually help with your T4 to T3 conversion. So get it in your basket, or use the wild salmon like we do. It's actually lower in calorie, which is obviously great as a bodybuilder, but it still gives you the same benefits as the farmed salmon, just without all the calories and all the things that are negative from Seaspiracy. Right, last one. Do they have Burford Browns here? Food number 5, and if anybody who follows me, they know that I am a huge egg lover. And here we've got some golden yolk eggs. I will be honest, we will try and find a supermarket always that sells Burford Browns, and we will always get extra large ones. We find the normal ones, so the medium ones, you'll definitely still get a decent yolk, but the actual egg white in there is very small, so we always go for the extra large ones, essentially just getting more bang for your buck when it comes to the egg. Essentially, we're hungry bodybuilders, so we want as much as we possibly can from the smallest thing possible, especially from the least amount of calories possible. So there's lots of different ways that you can cook an egg: boil, poach, fry. I'm sure there's plenty of other ones. One of the biggest things with eggs, it promotes healthy cholesterol within the body, which is going to be a great building block when it comes to supporting your testosterone, estrogen and progesterone, which is hormones that we all need. Even as a female, yes, you do need a flourishing testosterone level. You don't want it to see it sit above range. If you are seeing it sit above range, you might want to do a little bit of checking as to why that is, whether that be from compounds that you're potentially using that you might want to reduce down the amount of, or it could be from you actually have a hormonal imbalance. Something like polycystic ovaries actually creates for your testosterone levels to sit higher, and you might want to actually find out if you do have a hormonal challenge or issue like that as well. But an egg also has within it things like vitamin D, and then an actual product or health supplement that everybody bashes on about now, that everybody thinks it's the new thing, selenium, which obviously helps to promote things like thyroid function, etc. It's not a new product, it's something that you should have been utilising forever, especially if you are a female. By Myo-Inositol, selenium, all both very good health supplements when it comes to female function. Everybody thinks it's very new, and it is not. But vitamin D, that will help to promote for you to feel better, much more energetic, etc., which is also then going to have a spin over with how well your actual testosterone can convert as well. If you have low functioning vitamin D, you will naturally over time then get down regulating testosterone. So ensuring you utilize products like health subs that do promote it, but also things like eggs that will too, will obviously help with both of those things working really well, which will help to detoxify your estrogen, and it will also help with creating much more stable energy levels within the body as well, which is essentially something that you could probably utilize within a diet. I'm not a huge component of totally fat-free diets. Like I said at the midway through my video, there is going to become a time that you are going to have to probably reduce down some fats because you've got to pull calories from somewhere. But if you can keep a hold of some, especially good quality and healthy fats, it's going to help a lot. So that's why I always keep eggs all the way through my prep, even from an egg yolk's perspective, which yes, brings calories, yes, brings fats, but they are healthy versions of that. If you got to this video, at the end of this video, please hashtag below 5 subs. And if you would like me to cover anything within the environment of food again, please let me know below. Love all the comments, love everything in terms of the little bit of what's the word I'm looking for, engagement that we've got going on at the moment with the videos. So I'll make sure that I keep them up. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. We'll be back again for another video. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll be back again soon.